Hello everybody and welcome into the SFA Season 15 Week 2 Bear Cave. We are back for another slate in a more traditional slate as we only have the normal 10 games this week as we get a little bit further into Season 15. We have a lot of fun matchups in store for you, and we've already seen some craziness already happen. We saw Alabama go down. We saw Georgia go down, top 3 team, after they knocked off number 1 East Carolina last week. So definitely never know which way it's going to go. If you don't know what the SFA is, it's an online dynasty ran through Discord, Twitch, and YouTube. You can jump in at any time, claim a team, and join. You can hire coordinators, you can recruit, you can set bet charts, set playbooks. It's a really fun time. We also have a lot of server games. We have BearCave, which is a game in of itself. We have a fully functional sportsbook. We have a full-fledged stock market economy, as well as a bunch of other stuff. So check it out. Use or check any of the links in our descriptions to join the Discord. And yeah, we've got a great slate for you guys. If you are watching live with us, you may run into an ad or two because we are affiliated on Twitch, so feel free to drop that Twitch Prime sub so that you don't miss out on any of the action. And as always, check out our friends over at Home Field Apparel. They just dropped a crazy racing collection if you're into that. But they primarily focus on colleges and the vintage design. So check them out. Use code SFA for 15% off. And yeah, follow us on Instagram. I think that's all the plugs. But yeah, let's get into it. If you don't know what Bear Cave is, we take the 10 best games of the week besides game day, and we jump in, sim to the fourth quarter. If it's close, then we'll watch the end of the game. So let's get on into it. Looks like you guys can hear me. So we're gonna start out with West Virginia and Temple. We saw Temple last week on Bear Cave. I was trying to get some more unique matchups in here, but this one is a bit of a repeat just because these are two teams that had very interesting portals for different reasons. You had Temple, who popped off with a brand new quarterback, running back, and lineman, and then West Virginia, they got 3 different quarterbacks. So we'll see what happens here. This is Coach Hud and Coach Bober. If either of you are here, let me know. Heads or tails, kick or receive for West Virginia. This is a heavy West Virginia favorite here. And I didn't even realize today was like such a big sports day today. We got the Kentucky Derbies today. The Nuggets start their series with the Minnesota Timberwolves. So a lot of stuff going on. All right, so let's jump into Bear Cave here. Remember, folks, right after Bear Cave, we'll be right back with game day, which is going to be Coastal Carolina at Nebraska, which is going to be a very fun one. So let's jump in here. What is today have in store for us? And remember, recruiting will be released right after all of the streams here today as well. So we're going to jump in. As always, I am going to skip the start so that we have the stats at the bottom and stuff. Lincoln Financial Field here. Now, if you remember, West Virginia, they have a really good defensive line. Ooh, hey, Coach Dune. Jumping in with a subscription, getting ready for the Brother Bowl today between Boise State and Wyoming, which is coming up in a little bit. But like nobody is filling the stands here. We've got Yui jumping in with a sub. Thank you, Yui. All right, so let's get into Bear Cave here. 7-0 for West Virginia, 14-0. So the new quarterback, it's a transfer from Hawaii, Barrett Rogers, going out to 21-0. And it doesn't look like this early experiment for Temple is working. They got the Heisman finalist, Dale Shivers, and he doesn't look like he's doing anything here as West Virginia is kind of cooking. Now, coming into this matchup as we head towards the end of the third quarter, this game is a 9.5-point favorite for West Virginia, and the over-under is 53.5 if you are betting. But it does look like this will be a Temple cover a West Virginia cover. But Temple's starting to score a little bit here, but there they go. They run out the clock. West Virginia is going to get the win here. Mark it down. Welcome in, Coach Mike. Yeah. So Temple not cooking. We got PJ Hoop going nutty, the SFA player. Barrett Rogers throws 2 touchdowns. PJ Hoop again. Dale Shivers finally got in there. Hoop again. So Hoop outplaying Shivers here today. So Barrett Rogers, his first game, and he kind of goes crazy. He had 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 60% completing, and then PJ Hoop carried the ball 36 times, 185 yards, 2 touchdowns. Guess there's no question of what they're trying to do. Run it down your throat with Hoop. And on defense, Gary had 9 tackles and like I said, they have a very good defensive line. Deontay Smoke, SFA player, and Archibald Burnbridge as well. Got some TFLs. No sacks today, though. Yeah, Temple definitely is not looking good. And honestly, the AAC as a whole, remember, they started out 1-11 last week. I don't know their stats quite yet. I haven't really checked up on that. But Brent Perkins, the transfer in from Oregon State, doesn't seem to be working out. He's 8 for 22 today, 36% completion. Dale Shivers goes out after only 10 carries. He did have 2 touchdowns, so maybe he came out with an injury. And on defense, Alan Hillis, couple of defensive tackle for loss. Oh, yeah, Navy won this week, yes. Wilkerson, Cunningham, got some interceptions. And that will do it here from the first BearCave game. So we get a West Virginia cover. PJ Hoop gets a player of the game. Remember, I'm always got to get my players of the game screenshots here. So I can remember all games will be posted in Discord after tonight. VODs will be on YouTube. Highlight videos will be tomorrow if you miss any of it as we continue on here. And our next matchup is going to take us to... Ooh, this will be a fun one. We got the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets taking on the Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. Now, I don't know what the SFA... in like the SFA fan base is seeing and what I'm not. Now, I'm not going to say this to slight Coach Mike whatsoever, but last week they were number 15, and then UNLV took them down to the wire, had them on the ropes. It took a stop at the 1 to beat UNLV, who is regressed massively, and they jetted up 6 spots in the poll. This is a team I already thought had some questions at secondary. How are people throwing them up 6 spots? So that's my my one little question mark for you guys this week. But this is going to be a great one. We got Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. These are both Patreon members. So if you want to join Patreon, check out patreon.com/the SFA. But we're getting all blacks and chrome helmet for Yui. And then we'll see, yes, black. See if they got the black. Yes, they do. And then for Coach Mike, he said all white and gold helmets for contrast. All right. Make sure we got ours. All right, Yui, since you are the road team, you do get to call it. So heads or tails, kick or receive. Now, for those of you guys betting here at home, this is a 10-point spread for Georgia Tech at home in Atlanta and a 56.5 over-under. So here we go. Looks like we got some prime time here in Atlanta. Tails and kick. We're going to get to see Maximus Mays III, the SFA reject quarterback, potentially. He came out of the game halfway through last week. Leon Fox got some work in a one-score game against Kentucky. They're looking for a big upset here today. Hopefully Maximus Mays can play a full game. So tails and kick it, Bobby Dodd. Can we keep it close here yet again for Coach Yui? Here we go. A quick score for Western Kentucky. Another quick score. Oh my God, what is happening? 21-0 after one. Oh, what a start. Coach Yui putting together a masterful 28! 35! What is happening? Oh my God, Georgia Tech, come on. There you go. Can you get one back? They're making it a game, folks. Down 14 as we enter the fourth quarter. Can Georgia Tech make it? Oh, it's getting down to the nitty-gritty. We're going to go one play at a time. One play is all they needed. 75 by Caleb Hardy, the fullback. This game is on steroids. What is that? 28 unanswered? Oh my God, what is happening? All right, we're going to go one at a time here. Georgia Tech has the ball. They're driving. They're going. They're inside the 20, inside the 10. Can they punch it home? Yes, they do. Tie game in. It looked bad there for a little bit. Here we go. Western Kentucky had a win in the bag, and what happened? As we got Maximus Mays at quarterback. He has the thick arms. Over the middle, hits his man. That is going to be about 8 yards. What in the world? It's just, I guess, Georgia Tech's taken over that Florida State role where every game has to be a banger. Second and 2 here for Western Kentucky. Nice pocket, floats it open, man, he hits him! Chuck Sledge. Now remember, like I was saying earlier, Georgia Tech does have some issues. A lot of young guys in the secondary. Maximus Mays putting on a clinic here today, as they are now across the 50. Now we don't know how good their field goal kicker is, so probably still need, 20 to 30 yards. So they're going to throw it again. Another clean pocket, hits the tight end. Larry Pollock gets 16. First and 10 now. And off to the new running back, starting in the place of Jackson Viss, and he gets a nice little run. Gets about 6. Georgia Tech starting to call those timeouts. Second and 4 here. The Hilltoppers just going right down the field. Quick throw out wide, and can you get there? No, Ben Smith is short, so clock continues to run. Coach Mike calls his last timeout. Wore the suit today. 3rd and 1. Can Georgia Tech get off the field? First down would really set up that game-winning field goal, and there it is, up the gut inside the 10 for Brent Charles. Now Georgia Tech might want to let Western Kentucky score, as they could bring this all the way down and kick a game-winning field goal. So 1st and goal here, back in the pistol. Handoff out wide to Charles. He stiffies a man, and he goes down. Brought down from behind. We got 40 seconds left and counting. They can bring this all the way down to 2 seconds and kick, but they're going to run another play. 2nd and goal. We really do not want to see a Western Kentucky time mess up here. They're going to throw it. All-out blitz. Floats that short touchdown. Chuck Sledge wide open over the middle. Gives Western Kentucky the lead. The 4th TD of the day. Maximus Mays. Okay, so 22 seconds left in a dream here for Georgia Tech. $22 seconds. Can they get a return? This is Juice Riggs, the BearCave reward player from years ago. Only gets 24. So Clayton Tune today, he does have 4 touchdowns. They've had a brilliant second half. Can they get one more? A massive upset, another top 10 upset on the brink. Clayton Tune drops back over the middle, and that's overthrown. Incomplete. Clayton Tune over 200 yards today. Can they find something? They're going to have to start yamming. Juice Riggs by himself, bottom of your screen. Tune. He has some time, and he's sacked! Oh, baby! Sacked by Tobin Dashnaw, the SFA player, the 1-star, and that's going to end the game. And Western Kentucky does it. The Hilltoppers complete the top 10 upset on the road. Huey is back after a down year. They shocked the world and beat Georgia Tech, who made it to the ACC Championship last season. Holy Toledo. What a win. Maximus Mays. As we always see in the first couple weeks of the season, you know, old seasons, you know, teams that were extremely good, things change. And they change very quickly here in the SFA. So Western Kentucky gets a critical victory. Oh my. Did not see that coming. So that's a Western Kentucky win outright. Yeah, Cabbage. Let's flip the script and take down Charlotte. All right, let's see how this even happened. Oh, baby. So, Huey, you called out Jackson Viss, and he was like in your story dedicated to get better. Well, he returns a punt in the first quarter and gets an 83-yarder as well. Laz Palmer got a 90-yarder as well. So the big play working out today. Georgia Tech started coming back. This game was full of big plays here today. Maximus Mays, 18 of 30, 371, and 4 touchdowns for the freshman. Brent Charles had 72 yards on the ground. No carries for Jackson Viss. However, he did have 1 catch for 84 yards and a touchdown. Tobin Dashnaw, the SFA player, welcome to the league, big fella, as you got 4 TFLs and a sack. 3 sacks here. This is Drake Rutherford. He is the SFA reject. Welcome in Chef Moose. After all this time, I still have no idea who Chef Moose is in the Discord. But we got Clayton Tune, 13 of 21, 207 and 4 TDs. He and Caleb Hardy. Not a great day for Lee McDuffie. Only 33 yards. Through the air, only 2 catches for Riggs, but both were touchdowns. And Lamont Butler had 11 pancakes. On defense, Brian Brewster. You've got Sam White, Tex Sargent. Only 1 sack on the day and no picks. Couple deflections. 2 fumbles from Freddie Kazili, but he only recovered 1. And that is going to do it. All right, 2 games in, and we've already had some crazy results. Top 10 team going down. We had Georgia go down, now Georgia Tech, so things not looking great for the, what is it, the Peach State? Is that what they are officially called? I don't know. But Georgia not having a good day. All the Georgia Tech fans that were clowning Georgia on Twitter today got a taste of their own medicine right there. Both lost to G5 opponents. All right, as we move on here, we're going to stay right in the AAC along with the SEC, and we've got Charlotte and Auburn. All right, Coach Cabbage, let me know head or kick or receive. This is a 14-point favorite here for Auburn after a very good Week 1 game against ranked Florida State. And its over-under is 52.5. Reciv. And we've got rain down here in Auburn. That probably favors Charlotte a little bit. I haven't touched Charlotte this season, so I don't know what they're running. Believe it's still whatever Kenzie was. I don't know if I edited his coach at all this offseason, but we will see. I know Ham Soul is playing. So Jordan Hare, he wants to receive. All right, no options, so let's get on into it. 3 intercept, okay, Charlotte jetting out to a quick lead. Auburn gets it back. Yeah, Ham Sal is starting at quarterback. 10-7. 13-7. All right, staying a bit close. The defense has pressured them. 16-7 right now. Charlotte gets back. 19. They're keeping the door open. Charlotte takes the lead. Oh, no. Come on, Auburn. There you go. They get it one back, and they stop them. We're going to go one play at a time here. See if they can extend this lead. No, they can't. You have to settle for another field goal. Here comes Charlotte. Can they punch it in? Getting down to that wire. Here we go. 29-21 here. Charlotte, we get Ham Soul under center. Quick option, so they are running the triple option here. He has 121 yards on the ground. This is one of those weeks, Zach. One of those weeks. Third and goal. It's currently an Auburn no cover. Back in shotgun with Ham Soul, the SFA reject at quarterback. Nico McMotors in the backfield. Ham over the middle, and he hits his man, but short. So decision time. Do you take the points, or do you go for it? Looks like they're going to go for it here, as you see Calais Ingram there in the middle with the dreads. 4 wide. 4th and goal. Hams over the middle. It's tipped away by Calais Ingram. There you go. On your dome. Calais Ingram, one of the best, if not the best, middle linebacker in the country, making the play, shutting the door. Now all we need is a first down from Alfonso Jackson. Here is Brandon Price, the transfer from Oklahoma. Takes it, brought down by Devonta Billings. Still a no cover as of right now. They need a touchdown. He has like great Brandon Price gets about 1. So Charlotte might get another chance here. Lacey has 16 tackles. Remember, you still got Manny Midline on this team. Winnie Corso, number 27. Can one of them make a play? Hand off, he stiffies 1 and goes down. Winnie Corso makes the play. Team of the Year safety from last season. So Charlotte will get one last chance. Down 8, 1:10 left. The kick's a good one down the center of the field. Fielded. Oh, nice return here. Broken tackle. Zach Gooden gets 16. So Charlotte going to start out in plus territory, down 8. Trying to be another team to shock a top 15 team this week. Back in shotgun. Ham Soul. Plenty of time. He's going down the seam. It's a Yam. Oh, touchdown. Charlotte. Now they got to go for 2. To tie the game. Charlotte, this place is silent. Ham. Drops back. Ham over the middle. And he drops it. What a play from the Auburn D. So now they got to go for the onside kick. That was a good pass as well, and the Auburn scoops it up, and that's going to be the game. Talk about a scare for your Auburn Tigers. Got to wipe the brow on that one. Whew. So victory formation here for Auburn, but not much of a victory. Only winning by 2, but I guess in a week full of upsets, that's what will happen to you. So for all of you guys whining about being on a bye week, I would be happy if I was on a bye week right now. I think some of the people playing today are would be loving a bye week at this point. So one more snap here, and there it is. Auburn survives another scare as the SFA reject Ham Soul almost got him. So Auburn trying to build on the success from last year, and Pete Boyd, your player of the game, 5 of 6 in the rain here today, as that is a Auburn no cover for those of you following along on BearCave. If you missed any of the streams so far, we had a West Virginia cover. We've had a Western Kentucky win outright over top 10 Georgia Tech, and now Auburn no covering Charlotte. Very nice play there at the end, knocking that ball right out of his hands. Should have kicked the field goal on that first drive. Trusted the defense. What a great start here to BearCave. Some 3 very fun games here. I guess 2. So a lot of field goals. We had Nico McMotors, Kofi Garnett, SFA players, Boyd, McMotors, and then Brandon Price and Lemon getting it done from 45 yards out. I was shocked that he caught that. Alfonso Jackson, though, the junior, 22 of 29. Very nice day, 75% completion percentage in the rain. Honestly, the run game did not do what they should have done. That was probably the difference. Not a lot of room there in the running game. But Kofi Garnett, the SFA player, the redshirt freshman, had some nutty progression. Talk about a great day today here. And on defense, Calais Ingram had that deflection away. Some TFLs, 1 sack on the day, no interceptions. 1 forced fumble here from Ronald Bullock, and he got it. And he blocked something, so they had either a field goal or a punt blocked. That's interesting. And then for Charlotte, we had Ham Soul, the SFA reject, go 12 of 25, 215 and a touchdown. And running the ball, he only ran it twice for 4 yards, but Nico McMotors had himself a great day. Receiving the ball is how the splits went. And on defense, Lacey had 16, Okada had 13, Bowers had 10. And some TFLs here. Manny Midline gets 1. 1 sack here for Greg Francis. Nothing in terms of interceptions. Billings got a deflection, and that will do it. So, players of the game. Interested to see who they give this to. It's Pete Boyd. Oh, yeah, they already flashed that. Love when a punter gets offensive, the offensive player of the game. Wonder how many times that's happened. All right, here we go now. Next up is Florida State and Notre Dame. So a rematch of last season. Obviously, these guys are in the division, so we are kicking off some conference games this week. Coach Jackie Moon, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. But this is the game that had the helmet drop last season. Notre Dame threw it up from about 30 yards away. They had the ball. It was a catch to tie the game. His time expired, but then he brought it down, and his own teammate's helmet jarred the ball loose. So this game, it's a 3-point favorite for Florida State on the road, despite their struggles last week, and a 46.5 over-under. As far as BearCave props, I haven't really been talking about these today, but Dale Shivers rushing yards, he went under that. Laz Palmer, anytime touchdowns, he did hit that. And then Calais Ingram, just now, he went over 7.5. So we are looking for, in this game, Jamie Breckenridge pass touchdowns. Can he get over 2 today? If you want a recap, we have West Virginia cover. We had Western Kentucky shock Georgia Tech. That was a great game. And then Auburn no coverage Charlotte. So I don't see Coach Jackie Moon, but let me know. Jump into this. I also didn't see him submit his jersey request this week. Yeah, no jersey requests. So just go with the basics here. Storied matchup though. Love these jersey matchups. Love this. Last time this happened in Florida State, so we're now in South Bend. Here we go. Oh, was the Kentucky Derby going? Was it a good race? I always wait for it because it's such a long thing. I always wait for it on Twitter. All right, here we go. Are we going to get another instant classic like last season? Just last week, Notre Dame had a pretty good game, even though they did end up losing 21-0 Florida State. The ACC, man, is looking at some major changes this season. They had some struggles last week. This week, even more struggles. Now Notre Dame's taken over. Is the Jamie Breckenridge experience one and done at Florida State? Maybe, is it 2 games done? I mean, how quickly is he going to put in Claxton? 31-10, 38. They get one back, a 60-yard run by Burner. See if they can claw back into this. Okay, there's a 1. No, 4th and 2. They can't punch it in. They needed that one desperately. Fumble, okay. And, all right, they get one back. So, remember, we don't jump back in until it's a 1-score game. So, Florida State's got to come up with something here. They're just running clock. Man, running a lot of it out, and there it is. 38-24, Florida State. So, that's a Notre Dame win outright. So as you see, this was another return punt to start the day. Preston gets 2 touchdowns. We got Gumption for a tutty. Dan Jolly gets involved. Dan Jolly again. Burner and Browning. Okay, so it hits. Breckenridge does throw 2 touchdowns. So 14 of 21, 174, 2 tutties. He did do better today. However, not enough to get the win. Now, Florida State goes from being ranked preseason number 13 to likely unranked. Burner, 157, 1 touchdown. Spreading the ball around. Well, it seems to have hit. You get a couple of sacks here. Let's go take a look here. So TFL's couple of sacks, no interceptions, one deflection here for Robert Jones. They did get a couple forced fumbles and got both of them. Man, not a good game here for Florida State on the road. Warren Stevens, 21-34 in his redshirt senior year, gets 4 touchdowns. Fuller is 109 as a freshman. He's looking great. Dan Jolly had a great game. Some TFLs here. Will Gaines, 4 sacks on the day. And that will do it here from Notre Dame. Yeah, definitely an interesting start here for BearCave. A lot of interesting results so far as Notre Dame gets that win outright. So we've had 2 outright winners. No cover and a cover. All right, so next up here is one of our 4 neutral site games of the year. Obviously, in week 1, we had the New Heights Classic at NRG Stadium. And now this week, we've got the Rocky Mountain Showdown live from Denver, Colorado. So Coach Schwartz or Coach Logman, let me know if you're here and heads or tails, kick or receive. The over-under for this game is 36.5. Not a lot of faith going into either of these offenses, as remember, Colorado is starting a backup quarterback. Champ Bloomers, the freshman, went down with an injury that'll keep him out for a couple of weeks. But this is a 7-point favorite for the Buffaloes. And the BearCave prop for this one is Jamal Dunlap for Colorado. Will he get a sack? So let's take a look. We've got some interesting players on both sides. Obviously, there are a couple SFA players for Colorado, like Blue Jackson, the quarterback, Wolf Shitten on the bat, and JP Melton and Jamal Dunlap. And for Colorado State, they have a transfer running back from Pittsburgh starting. And they have Will Sweeten Jr., the top cornerback prospect they recruited last season. So we'll see what happens here. We are at Empower Field at Mile High, live in Denver, Colorado. One of the best venues in all of sports. It will always be Invesco Field at Mile High to me. But here we go. Heads and kicks is what we'll start with. So Colorado and Colorado State, can we get a good one here today in the neutral site action? 7-0 early on. So Bolaki is the transfer running back, and he looks like he does a little bit, but 7-3. Colorado not looking good. Colorado goes down 10. Oh no. Colorado not playing their best with the backup quarterback, down 17. There they go. They get one back, but we entered the 4th quarter. Down, there you go. You get one. Will Sweeten Jr., the return man. 4th and 2. They can't do it. So here we go. Colorado has the ball, and they tie it up. Oh boy, 4 minutes left. We got a good one brewing here at Invesco. And that is going to stall out Colorado State. So Colorado is going to get the ball back with 3 minutes. Can they put together a drive? No! They have a 3 and out. So we're almost to the point where we jump in. We'll jump in right here. So right across the 50 here, Colorado State, a chance to shock their arch rivals. So Bullock is their running back, the transfer from Pittsburgh. He got him in the transfer portal. We don't know much about this team, as we've rarely seen Colorado State ever make an appearance here on stream, as they are running clock. Handed off to Bullock, the transfer, and he goes up the middle, gets a nice chunk. It's about 12. Or no, that's Brian Harris now. So it looks like Bullock must have exited the game. All right, so their transfer running back exits the game. It's now Harris in the backfield. He's played very well. Now Sherman keeps it here. He has some room. There goes Sherman, and he's hit hard. Tavares Sherman hit hard, and that's Wolf Shitten, the SFA player, making his presence known. You got Dunlap in the middle, number 99. J.P. Melton at your right outside linebacker, and Wolf Shitten at the strong safety. But they are inside the 30, likely in fringe field goal range. Colorado going to have to start using those timeouts. Free blitzer. The ball's on the ground. Colorado picks it up. Oh, baby. The Buffs are cooking. So the Buffs take over and they do nothing there. But that's a fumble. Oh my. So Colorado taking another timeout here. Just a free blitzer absolutely cooks. So Blue Jackson is in the slot at the bottom with those with the back arms. This is the backup quarterback, and he's gonna go down. Brian Ward. He had to play the majority of the game versus Pittsburgh last week, and they brought him to overtime. They couldn't quite win that game, and now it's 3rd and 21. So not doing anything here with the free possession. So now they kind of got to play for overtime, unless... Oh, big play there by the free safety. Saves him. So now here comes the punt formation. 57 seconds left. Is Colorado going to play an overtime game 2 weeks in a row? 24-24. Colorado State has 1 timeout left. I believe this is Will Sweeten. No, it's Antoine Cox. All right, so Colorado State gets another chance here. See if they can do something better than putting the ball on the turf by Sherman. Maybe they can help him in pass protection a little bit. 50 seconds left here. Oh, broken sack, a yam! And double coverage goes nowhere. That was shaping up to be a beautiful play there by Sherman as he evaded the defender, but... Love me the Rocky Mountain Showdown. It's always a fantastic game, regardless of if it's actually good football or not. Sherman steps up. He's sacked again. Off the edge. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Coach Logman may want to invest in the offensive line as he's 3 of 14 on 3rd down today. So 3rd and 14, the fans are going nutty. Another free blitzer. He floats it in triple coverage, and it's dropped again. Oh, man, the fans are cooking. Incomplete. 4th and 14, Dogwater, you know you love it. This is the best neutral site game we've ever seen, as we've got 30 seconds left here for Colorado as they threaten the midfield. John Garrison gets up to the 50. So 27 seconds left for Colorado. They can get into field goal range, probably with about 20, 30 yards here. Ward, yamming that overthrown. Oh! Remember, Champ Bloomers is injured, so Brian Ward, this is a backup quarterback. Now, he is a senior, I believe, but he's like a redshirt senior, very low rated. He had him, man. 2nd and 10 now. Brian Ward over the middle. He hits him this time. Finds his man. They're inside the 30. They're starting to cook. That's Jimmy Norton. So inside 30, we don't know how close they are to field goal range. They are going to spike this one. Remember, no timeouts. So you are at the spot of the field where it's a bit hairy. If they don't get a first down, get out of bounds, or incompletion. And they're not going to risk it. They're going to bring out the field goal formation right now. So to take the lead here in the Rocky Mountain Showdown, it's going to be about a 38-yarder. From right hash, the kick is up, and it is good for the Colorado Buffaloes. Forgiven. Hurry. See you know no defeat. Shoulder to shoulder, we fight, 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 fight. If you don't know, my real life favorite college is the Colorado Buffaloes. But we got 8 seconds left. Can Colorado State shock the Buffaloes? In Power Field, he breaks the sack floaties, and it gets 3 seconds. Sherman is elite at breaking sacks and nothing else. If he was an SFA player, he'd probably have like A+ break tackle or something, and then F in everything else. We're looking for a yam. Hey, Zach, that is not Bo Nix. Stop. 2nd and 10, last play of the game. Sherman, can he yam it? He does. And it's caught, but he is tackled. Down he goes. Ryan Taylor can't stay up. Colorado gets a much-needed victory. What a game here in our Season 15 new neutral site series. This game 2 is a banger. Colorado no covers Colorado State. That is a CU no cover. Unbelievable today, folks. We've had some very close calls. We had West Virginia cover, and then an outright no cover, outright no cover. Auburn did not. They only won by 2. Absolutely love the Rocky Mountain Showdown. Our last 2 matchups that are neutral sites this season is the Red River rivalry with Texas and Oklahoma. And then we have Army-Navy, both later on in the season. I don't think we've ever seen a true 0-point week in BearCave. So if you are able to do it, I think that is pretty impressive. Yui. All right, let's see how this one went. We've already had a crazy BearCave so far, as Harris got an 82-yard run. Harris, again, the backup running back, playing very well. Everything on the ground today. So Tavares Sherman, the redshirt senior, 11 of 28, 198, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Only 39% is not going to get it done. Josh Bullock, he is the transfer from Pitt. He only had 18 carries for 47, and then Harris comes in and explodes. Holy Toledo, a 69 overall. He's a wide receiver. Receiving, though. And on defense, this is what it looked like. TFL's not a ton here, actually. And 2, 4, 5, 6 sacks today. No interceptions for Will Sweeten Jr., the SFA player. 3 deflections. Couple of forced fumbles, though, and they got all 3. And now for Colorado, you had Brian Ward, the redshirt senior here, 18 of 35, 274, and 1 touchdown. Fletcher got it done on the ground today. Blue Jackson was your leading receiver. And Daniel Campbell had 16 tackles, 5 TFLs, no sacks, though. And for those of you guys betting, Jamal Dunlap did, in fact, get a sack today. Woo! All right. Donovan Williams had an interception. And the fumble we saw, forced by Eric Larkin and picked up by Michael Everson. And that will do it here from in Power Field at Mile High. In just a couple months, you'll see Bo Nix on the field throwing dots. Let's get our players of the game. That was truly a sicko's game of the week, if I don't say so myself. Holy Toledo. All right, now it's that time. We have the Patreon game of the week. This game was not eligible for Watch Party as Wyoming. We watched them last week on Watch Party. Remember, folks, Patreon is not pay to win. It's just a bunch of added benefits. You get additional game day. You get access to the Playoff Push podcast. So if you do want to check it out, links are in any of our descriptions. We also have the command in the chat, but it's patreon.com/the SFA. So this week we've got Wyoming, Coach Wynn, taking on his brother, Coach Dune, and the Boise State Broncos. Now I got to get their jersey selections here. And is this revamped? I want 19 homecoming. All right, we'll see if they have 19 homecoming. There we go. 19 homecoming here for the Broncos. Is there... Oh, no, it's just... Okay. So, I got to go to that alt, I guess. The 19 homecoming alt. And then for Wyoming wants the gold uniforms as well. Wind, we might have to make a pivot. I don't think I can see the... Wait a second. We'll see. Can I do the gold and the yellow? Gold, or yeah, I think we're fine. We're fine. We can do this. We can do this. We can do the gold versus the blue. I think that's okay. All right, so this game, if you're betting on it, is Wyoming's actually the favorite. 2.5 point spread. Over under is 51.5, and we are looking at Ike Deason, the quarterback for Boise State, the SFA player, first-year starter. Will he throw an interception? Over, under. Guys are saying this is an easy Boise W. Okay. This is egregious. It'll send. All right, here we go. So Wyoming, Coach Wind, let me know, heads or tails, kick or receive. The brother versus brother game. And folks, this is the only game result that impacts recruiting this week. So it might impact a podium, it might impact a signing, but this result is the only one on stream this week that is going to impact a result. So obviously all the other visits already impacted, but they are simmed. This is the only live visit that is going to impact a battle. I know it's egregious, but sometimes if I'm not thinking, I say egregious. Heads and kick is my choice. Remember, guys, recruiting will be available right after this. I already have it pretty much all prepped. Outside one battle is not fully finalized, so it should be pretty quick. I do really like changing the way recruiting's done. Getting it done the night before gives me just so much more time to take my time, make sure it's all correct instead of trying to go as fast as I can with chicken scratch on like my notebook. So yeah, I really like that change this season. So here we go. We're on the blue turf here, and he said heads and kicks, so we are cooking. So Wyoming gets it done. Everybody was impressed with Wyoming after a big-time performance against Oregon, even though they did come up short. So Boise State, what's going to happen in this one? No score here between the brothers. They know each other so well. 7-0 Wyoming. They open up the scoring. Get a fumble there. Nothing comes of it. And Wyoming gets a second score. Boise State can't add one. A field goal is no good at the end of the half. Thanks for the sub, Coach Mike Gronstel. EMU is on the rise. I really like that roster. And 21-0 here for Wyoming. Oh, my God. Wyoming! 28-7. Oh, no. Coach Wind getting the better of his brother here, it looks like. Wait a second, folks. Are we going to get another colossal choke? We're going to go one play at a time, and it's one score. Okay, so 3 scores just like that from Boise State. They're not going down. And a 67-yarder. Jamie Brown on your door. He doesn't fit through the door, but, man, he'll score a tutty, man. That thick boy gets a banger. Jamie Brown, I can't even talk, and a pass drop by Sixto. Come on, Boise. There you go. Remember, we can't jump in until it is a one-score game, and they get it. All right, let's take a look. They are going to kick the extra point here. On your dorm. Yeah, I was getting ready to talk because in the watch party we were talking about how Jamie Brown can't fit through a door. So I messed up dome and door. So I got dorm. All right, 35-28. All right, they're going to go for the onside kick here. Now, they do still have 3 timeouts, so this isn't the end of the game if they don't get it, and Wyoming picks it up. Sterling Scruggs. So Chris Neal and company, they got to get a couple first downs here. So Chris Neal, Jamie Brown, can they get a couple tough ones? 3 timeouts left from both sides. Hand off to Jamie Brown, and he gets about 5. Second and 5 now. Chris Neal under center. Jamie Brown in the backfield. They're stacking the box, ready for him. The counter. Jamie Brown to the outside. That's a first. He runs over a man. Inside the 15. Jamie Brown for 20. The converted fullback might have just given Wyoming the victory. They need one more first down. Maybe. But they might be able to just kick a field goal here. Now, we did see them miss a field goal last week. Is from pretty close range. But if my math is right, it's looking like Boise State might get the ball back with like 6 seconds left. So we'll see if Wyoming runs a real play here. We've seen crazier chokes before from Wyoming last season. So we'll see. But Chris Neal, they are going to run a real play this time. They're going to run the clock out. 3rd and 15. Can Boise State find some magic? Inside 10 seconds, Chris Neal, the 5-star quarterback. Second career start today, looking for his first career win. 3rd and 15, Neal drops back. He floats that deep, and he hits him! Oh, baby, cardiac Chris Neal. His 4th touchdown of the game. And we're back up 2 scores. So now we just got to sim one play at a time once again to see if they can get a touchdown, get back within 1 score. Does not look like it is. It's 4th down, and that is going to do it. Wyoming gets it done. Wyoming gets the cover on the road. Takes down the Pac-12 foe after just coming up short last week. Boise State can't believe it. Oh, baby, we got 5 gifted subs from Coach Dune. Even after losing? Shout out to Dune, man. That was insane. I just look over and I get ding, 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 ding. Thanks for the subs, my guy. Remember, folks, we do have a ton of new emotes as well this season. So added all those, got those updated. But Chris Neal gets it done. Wyoming back to 1-1. Feel like Wyoming is quickly becoming early season merchants. We got to see them show up late in the season. But Coach Wind gets a critical win. McNasty got himself a sub. Let's go. Holy cow. All right, so let's take a look at what's happening here. Is Jamie Brown, my God. He gets 2 in the 2nd quarter. Charbonneau popped off as well, but Jamie Brown got it done in the end. So Chris Neal, the redshirt 5-star, did they finally get a good quarterback here on the island? 24-49, 315. Rushing the ball, it was all Jamie Brown, baby. Averaging over 10 a carry, and he led them as well in receptions. He had 2 touchdowns there. Pud Foxtail got 9 tackles, 3 TFLs, 3 total sacks, 1 interception from Bill Clark. A lot of deflections here today, 1 fumble, and 1 recovery. Now for Boise State, he played all 62 pass attempts. I don't think we've ever seen that many in a game. 62? Ideason was slinging the rock. Get this guy get him in an ice bath. My God, 26 of 62. That's only 41%. 4 touchdowns, 1 interception. Run the ball, Ahmed Sixto didn't quite get to 100. He's the SFA player. He was a 1-star. Now, if you are behind, you do start just slinging the rock. Scott Edwards, leading receiver here today. Three sacks. No interceptions for the punter. I don't know why he's up there. 5 deflections. These games today are going crazy, and we're not even to the right side of the graphic. My goodness, what a day. Week 1 was awesome. Week 2 is coming up clutch just as well. This week is just off the rails. This is one of those weeks that's just like peak SFA, where it's just like, if you want to introduce somebody to the SFA, you show them this week. So Wyoming gets the win. All logic thrown out the window today as we continue on to the right side of the graphic. We'll see if we get more upsets here. But next up, we've got USC at Clemson. This will be a good one, as USC is projected to be good this season. Also, Clemson showing that they may be back. They signed like 6 SFA in-game recruits. But this is a 2-point favorite for Clemson and a 56.5 over-under. So we're going to jump on in USC. See what they can do. Now that LSU has proven that they're good, now we've got USC as the true real-life powerhouse. This is a team that's never been able to do much in the NCAA 14 era. I don't think they've ever won the division. So we'll see what they can do. Is this the year? They have a great quarterback, Terrence House, but they're on the road against a gritty Clemson team. However, the ACC may be in shambles, as we've already seen Georgia Tech and Florida State go down. So heads and kick here. And remember, we still got a crazy game day coming up between Coastal Carolina and Nebraska. So we'll see, can Clemson get it done here today at home? 3-0. 10-0 for Clemson. Is this a Clemson that we know and love? USC does have a couple SFA players. They have Bobson Dugnut and Dylon Sarnecki on defense. 14-10.5. It is USC leading. Clemson. Oh, it's 7. Here it comes, USC. Can we get another upset? As we go into the 4th quarter. All long, no field goal, no good by Grimmer, the SFA kicker. Oh, no. And now that goes nowhere for Clemson. So USC and a long touchdown. 66 yards for Sanders. So up 2 scores. We can't even jump in now. We got to wait for Clemson to do something. Can they punch this in or at least get a field goal? Yes, they do. Oh, that's a touchdown. On 4th and 5 even. Here comes Clemson, folks. All right, so we're going to watch now as they try to get this ball back. The onside kick. And USC gets it. So now we got to see, can they get a stop now? 3 timeouts here for Clemson. They have a ton of SFA players on this defense, mainly Slam Rodriguez in the middle. And then out wide, 2 of their corners are now SFA players. You've got Artie Smart and D'Antonio Giorgio, or whatever his name is. The player Tribe made. All kickers are a sham, Dogwater. When are you going to learn this? SFA kickers just have more power. So 2nd and 7 for House. He hands it off to Sanders. He pushes through. That's going to be a first down. Brandon Sanders gets 10. Slam Rodriguez does get a tackle, but they got to get a stop now. No more first downs. Only down 5. They can allow the field goal. Hand off to the outside. What a block there from the receiver. 2nd and 3. Not looking good here for Clemson. Second and 3. Under center. Handoff up the gut, and he can't get there. Big play there in the middle there from the linebackers as Brandon Sanders over 225 yards. Holy Toledo. As they're going to actually hurry this up. Try to get it. Interesting. Hopefully, are they going to run the clock? It does look like it. Clock continues to run. 3rd and 1. Can they punch this in? All they need is 1 yard, and then they can just sit on it. To get a top 25 victory on the road for USC. 3rd and 1. A handoff, and he's going to get it. There it is. USC is going to bring it home on the back of Brandon Sanders. What a game from USC. Now just victory formation. Another top 25 team going down. The 3rd of which from the ACC. As if you were listening to the Patreon podcast, I was saying, you know, it might be an overreaction, but I was not impressed with the ACC in week 1. And that is going to continue another week, so it looks like the ACC fall from grace is in full effect. As we are starting to head west. And there it is. We're final. USC gets potentially the best win in the NCAA 14 era over number 14 Clemson in front of a packed Death Valley. They cannot believe it. USC wins outright. Unbelievable. And now we got to check on Artie Smart. Did he get an interception? That was the BearCave prop for this one. Yeah, exactly. It's like, who do you rank after 2 weeks? Remember, folks, is that in SFA history, no team that's ever started worse than 2-0 has won the national championship. It might have to change this year if everyone keeps losing. Who else is going to be 2-0? Yeah, I don't think this is going to be a good BearCave week for, like, anybody. As we take a look here. Terrence House, the redshirt senior quarterback, 96 overall. No touchdowns here today, rushing the ball. It was just all on the back of Sanders. Bobson Dugnut gets 4 receptions. And on defense, 8 tackles here for McAfee. 2 TFLs. No sacks. Interception from McAfee as well, free safety. Dylon Sarnecki, the SFA player. Couple of deflections. No forced fumbles. And now for Clemson, who continues to be disappointing after a disappointing year last year as well. Michael Smith just not very good as their new quarterback. Bob Patton, the senior, didn't do much. On defense, Slam Rodriguez, the SFA player, gets 9 tackles. 3 TFLs here. No sacks, no interceptions. And it doesn't look like Beef McWhatnow is playing. It looks like he's getting redshirted. Not a good week for BearCave. If you're going to miss a week in BearCave, this is probably the week to do it, as I think scores are going to be down across the board. Getting some crazy results. USC gets the win. That's crazy. Mick, what now? Alright, as we continue on, we only got a couple more games here. And next up, we're going to have a very interesting one. We got Coach Rick in Minnesota taking on Fresno State. So we've got Jackson Arroyo, the transfer from Nebraska, had a very good week 1, taking on the 99 overall Chadley Brown. So Coach Rick, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. As we jump on into this one. And will Jackson Arroyo get over or under 300 pass yards? That's our BearCave prop. But this is a 4-point favorite for the Gophers, and over-under is 53.5. If you remember week 1, Fresno State was taken to double OT with Southern Miss and lost. So a lot on the line here. Big chance to move up from Minnesota, potentially top 10 even, with a good showing, you would think. Yes, sir, Moon watching us from a festival. As we have heads and kicks since Rick doesn't seem to be here. And we are off here from Fresno. Here we go. Can Fresno State bounce back, or will it be Jackson Arroyo continuing to break out? Well, first quarter was all Fresno State because of course it is. 6-0 for Chadley Brown. 13-0 Chadley. Minnesota gets on the board though, and they get back. Oh my. Fresno State is cooking here today. Fresno 27. As we head to the fourth quarter, it's all Fresno. But Minnesota hold up. They got the 2-point conversion. We're going to go one play at a time now as we start to get closer. Here comes Minnesota, and fourth down. Do they kick the field goal? Yes, they do, and it's good. Down 6. So Minnesota hanging tight. Can Chadley Brown finish them off? They're driving it pretty well, but it's fourth down, punt formation. Here we go. Jackson Arroyo, the Nebraska transfer SFA player at quarterback. This is a new-look Minnesota team, completely Rick's now. No more Jay Jetta fingers on this team. Completely new core. Tony Chavez gets his third reception. It's Jackson Arroyo now. 2nd and 5. They need a touchdown. SFA player to look out for is Tango Sadiqui on the defensive line. A delay give here to the running back, and he does not get much. Calvin Warren gets tracked down from behind. That was Tango Sadiqui. He has a sack and a TFL despite regressing heavily, so he is at the top of the line. 3rd and 3, clock is running. Minnesota got to maintain those timeouts in case they do have to punt it. Arroyo, it's going to be a screen. He gets it to Warren, and Warren can't make a move. They whiffed on the block, and now decision time here for Rick. Do you punt it or go for it here? And they're going for it. I love the call. Come on, Minnesota. 4th and 2. They hand it off. Warren, he falls forward. First down, Minnesota. This game is not quite over. They hurry it up now. Jackson Arroyo, we've yet to really see him chuck it downfield. Safety's cheating up. Arroyo, he has some time. He is yamming it. And he hits some. Oh, baby, down the save. To the 1 for Jason Fisher. 67. Minnesota is in business. What a yam from Jackson Arroyo. But can they punch it in? It's Warren. And no! He is stuffed. Down 6, you've got to punch it in. Time a non-factor. You got 3 plays. 2nd and goal. Handoff to the outside. He gets a block, and he's pushed in! Warren wasn't gonna get it, but the defender tackled him into the end zone. Minnesota catches a break. What a play there from Minnesota. As now Fresno State is on the verge of another heartbreak in back-to-back weeks. The Minnesota no cover is holding as of now, but Fresno State has one timeout, and they have one of the 2 best players in the country. Actually, the 2 best players in the country are going at it. We got Dusty Dukes on the offensive side for Minnesota, and we've got Fresno State, the only 2 99 overall players in the country. So 1st and 10 for Chadley Brown. Trips right. They need a field goal. Floats this out early. He hits his man. Gets out of bounds. Long ways away from field goal range. Chadley Brown drops back. Only 3-man rush over the middle. He has to come back for it, but gets a nice block. Marcus Mitchell gets 13. Could have been a lot more. As they hurry it up now. A beautiful block springs the receiver. Here comes Fresno. 25 seconds left. Brown floats it. Hits his man. A beautiful catch from Fred Hart, the tight end. Here comes Fresno, still maintaining that extra timeout. 1st and 10 from the 45. Bring a blitz picked up. Brown to the sideline, and he can't get out of bounds. And Fresno is now forced to use that timeout. So lapse of judgment there from Mitchell, as I was about to clamor Fresno State for using the sidelines, but 2nd and 1 over the middle. That is going to give him a 1st down, but they got to hurry it up now. Got to hurry it up, Fresno. What are you doing? Got to hurry it up. Hurry it up. They are going to, and they are going to spike it. Maybe. Took a lot of time off the clock here, so that is going to now, this is going to be the last play, likely, of the game. And they are not in field goal range. So we are 34 yards away, and they're bringing out the offense. Can Chadley Brown stun the Gophers? Brown drops back. He yams it deep to the end zone, and it's tipped away, but 2 seconds left. They get another chance. And now they bring out the field goal. They win for the end zone. Now they bring it out. It's a 51-yarder from right hash to win the game for Fresno State. The kick is up, and it's online, and it's good! The walk-off 51-yarder! The Bulldogs do it, the upset! Unbelievable! Heartbreak for the Golden Gophers. I thought they were cooked! But they trot out the field goal kicker, and he puts it right through. Why would you go for the Hail Mary if you could hit that? What in the world? A 51-yarder to win the game. Another top 25 team goes down. Unbelievable. Fresno wins outright. What is happening? Man, if I'm Coach Zach, I'm getting a bit scared for game day now. Minnesota had this game in the bag. Holy Toledo, what is going on in Fresno? So he hit a 45-yarder earlier on, but 51 was just a little bit too much. Maybe they called it a long 50. But you get Jackson Arroyo, 16 of 29, 291, and 2 touchdowns, rushing the ball. Warren had 28 attempts for 122. Jason Fitcher had that long catch. And then 2 touchdowns for Castillo. And on defense, Rhett Bush and Gerald Gray cooking. Triplet and Blizzard had the bunch of TFLs. Quay Camaro had himself a sack. A couple of deflections. Yeah, this is one of those any given Saturday type of a game, as you get Chadley Brown going 24 of 34. Ben McDonald, 148. Tango Sadiqui gets himself a sack. Interception from Trey Holt, the left outside linebacker. Don't often see that. Couple of forced fumbles. They got them both for Reed and Jackson. And that is how the game ended. Fresno State, 30-28. Holy cow. And we're still not done here, folks. We've still got, what is this, 2 games left? We're already pushing an hour, 30 minutes. Holy Toledo. BearCave decided to cook today. I thought that when I made BearCave this week, I thought it was a bit of a lackluster lineup in a way, as I didn't go for all the big matchups like Washington, LSU. I wanted to go for some more, storylines or, some other teams, right? Don't want to see everybody, all the same matchups, all the same teams every single week, right? So, but man, this has cooked. So next up is we are going back to the ACC to see who decides to lose this week, as it's Pittsburgh and Buffalo. So Pitt is not ranked quite yet. Probably will be one of those teams in the rankings. But Buffalo coming up off a 1-point win against Army. Pitt had that overtime win against Colorado. So this is a 58.5 over-under and the 4-point spread for the Buffalo Bulls. So Coach Crew, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. As we've got one more game after this, it is a top 10 clash. So another top 10 team guaranteed to lose, either A&M or Baylor. Holy cow, what a day, what a day. Can Pittsburgh do it, as we've got rain here in Buffalo? Jaws Patterson, his senior year. They came very close to beating this team last season. I think they lost by 2 points. So we'll see if Coach Crew can get over the hump today. As, honestly, with Florida State losing, with Clemson losing, and potentially beating Buffalo, Pittsburgh could be in the driver's seat here in the ACC early on if they can get a win. But that is a tall task against a historically great Buffalo team at home, as they're already up 7-0. 14-0 here for Buffalo, but Pittsburgh battles back. And before half, Buffalo adds 1. And, a quick touchdown there before halftime, but they missed the extra point. So down 8. So Pittsburgh out of the halftime, down 1 now. In Buffalo, though, and that extra point might come back to bite them as we head to the fourth quarter. 28, and they don't go for it. So down 1 still. Long play there to Dembele. Buffalo, can they punch it in? No, they can't, and the field goal is good. Okay, so just over 2 minutes left here. We don't jump in till the 2-minute mark. Here we go. So are they going to punt it? Yes, they will. Down 4. Buffalo currently covering. Can Pittsburgh find a way to get the ball back now? So the punt right down the middle. They can't shed a block. Billy Grant returns it. So 31-27. Pittsburgh needs a stop here. Sean Hill, the quarterback. They do have a new starting running back, Whitaker. He was the ACC Player of the Week last week. 1st and 10. They're going to hand it to him. And no, Hill is going to keep it. He finds the outside. There's a ton of room there. And he gets about 4. So Pittsburgh does decide to use the timeouts right now. So they got to find a way to get a stop. So under center now, I formation. Hand off to the outside. There he goes. Down the sideline. That's going to be a first down, but Whitaker does go out of bounds. So it does extend this game by a little bit, but Whitaker having yet another great day. So you got to think, with Dale Shivers, you know, struggling at Temple and Whitaker going crazy, is this just a system RB? You know what I mean? As you got Whitaker popping off again. My God, and that's another first down. Whitaker is running right through this defense. Pittsburgh's got to come up with a solution here. Last chance for Pitt. Cannot give up another first down. Hand off to Whitaker to the left side. He turns the corner and he stays in bounds, forcing him to use that last timeout. Not ideal. So everything, this is just a traditional Buffalo type of a win here. So they just slowly kill you with the run game. 2nd and 3. Hand off to Whitaker to the right side this time, and he gets the first down, and that's going to do it. So Pittsburgh unable to take down Buffalo yet again, as Whitaker is almost over 200 yards. He's at 199. And victory formation now here for Buffalo, just a couple of snaps away from winning at home, as they will extend to 2-0. So they had the 1-point victory against Army. Now they get a 4-point victory against Pittsburgh. And 1-0 in conference play. So just 21 seconds left on the clock, and there it is. We hit triple zeros. Buffalo gets a win at home in the rain. They won by 4. The spread was 4, so we call that a cover here in BearCave. So one more game left here in the BearCave slate before we get going on game day. Been a very fun BearCave today. We get another close one here. Fortunately, Pittsburgh, they just couldn't find a way to get through and block shed. Buffalo still has one of the better offensive lines in the country. All right, folks, it is also about that time to get your Bob and us out. We got one more game on the slate. Who do you guys think is going to win? Well, before we get into the prediction, though, let's go through the game stats of this one. Dembele got a touchdown. Keontae Duckett got a touchdown. And if you bet on any of our BearCave props today, Kennard Short, we're looking for carries today. So how many carries did he get? So Jaws Patterson, 21-34, 3 touchdowns and an interception in the rain here. Kennard Short went over on carries. The line was set at 19.5. He gets 22 carries for over 100 yards. No touchdowns, though. Defensively, Clooney Bolton gets 10 tackles. 3 TFLs here for Art Sandat, the SFA player. No interceptions. No really extracurriculars here today for Pittsburgh. Unable to get stops when it mattered the most. And for Buffalo, Sean Hill, 23 of 36, 264 and 2 touchdowns. Ricky Whitaker, 33, 199 and 2. Dembele, Schuster, all doing their thing. And on defense, Andy Clapp and Thrash Daniels. And an interception here for Billy Grant, the senior. Couple of deflections as well, no fumbles. So that will do it here from Buffalo. So one more game before we get to one of the, I'd say, more entertaining game days, at least on paper, in recent memory. But before we get to game day, we have one more game left. I'm surprised this didn't get voted as it, but we've got Texas A&M Coach Skook taking on Coach Flame. Number 2 A&M. They have Huck Hammer. They have Herky Streets and Baylor. You know Flame, when he's at Baylor, they are almost unbeatable. So who do you think is going to win? No spreads or anything on the Bobinos prediction. Give you guys a minute here to get your predictions in. Go, go, go. Got 14 people watching. Thank you. So A&M and Baylor. So Coach Skook, if you're here, let me know heads or tails, kick or receive. And this game, it is an over-under of 52.5, and A&M comes in as only a 1.5 point favorite. So much more even than you might think. This is the Battle of the Brazos. And our BearCave prop on the week is following the number 1 recruit, Huck Hammer. Does he get a sack and an interception today? That would be wild. He does have the stats to do it. He is a beast. But that is a plus 600 line. So it looks like a lot of the money going on Baylor after Baylor had a very nice showing against Michigan last week, beating them 34-16 on the road. Whereas A&M, all they did was face Rice, but they did their thing. They dominated. But this is definitely the first test of the season for A&M since the national championship game last season. New quarterback. So we'll wait for the prediction to be up, and then we will jump into the game. Looks like about 9 grand more is on Baylor today. Interesting. All right, so we're going to jump in with A&M. Coach Skook trying to get back to the national championship. Coach Flame, after a couple of down years with his stint in Illinois, trying to get back to the top of the SFA Universe. So here we go. We are in Waco. Oh, baby, we're just about sunset. It's where things tend to happen in Waco. McLean Stadium. Number 2, A&M. So it's heads and kicks since we do not see any Skook action in the chat. And here we go. Number 2 taking on number 7 here. Next quarter. Nathan dropping money on Baylor. Looking good. 14-0 to start it. As you go to the second quarter, though, A&M gets one back. 21-7 for Baylor. But here comes A&M. They tie it up very quickly, but Baylor scores right before halftime. This one's looking good, but Baylor definitely has the home advantage, it seems. 28-21 A&M. Can they battle back? No, Baylor re-extends the lead, and they're driving again. Baylor extends it to 21. Baylor, but here comes A&M. You can never count these dogs out. They have one of the better secondaries in the country. Remember, their entire defense pretty much is returning, plus they added the number 1 recruit in the country, but the offense. So we're not jumping in unless it's a one-score game. There we go. One-score game here. We're going to go one play at a time, and we'll jump in around the 2-minute mark. Here we go. 2nd and 13 for Baylor. Can they close this one out? 42-35. Handoff here to Niall Sheethers. The SFA player swallowed up. Huck Hammer, the number 1 SFA player recruit, is the strong safety. They are completely stacking the box here. 3rd and 10. Handoff to Sheethers again. And he's hit hard. That is Huck Hammer, number 45, meeting him in the hole. So here comes the punt formation. A&M gets their shot. They got one timeout left. They were up 42-21 in the 4th quarter. Are we going to see a 21-point erased lead as Joel Lewis returns that one. Ray Woods having himself a good day today. 42-35, Baylor. Looking like those old SFA teams. The golden ages. The likes of Colt Brennan, Braylon Burnside, Marcus Lattimore. But here's Herky Streets, the #1 in-game recruit from a couple of years ago. Hits Dan Day. Oh yeah, Huck Hammer is full of meat here. Is Herky Streets having himself a decent day? As Jack Kennery, the SFA player, hits him. And there's another hit to Dan Day. He is the game day man. Dan Day goes off on game day. He had a great playoff showing as he's having a good day today. How many times can I say the word day in a sentence? As it's 1st and 10 now, across the 50. Herky Streets in empty. Herky over the middle, hits his man. It's Dan Day a 3rd time. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow day. 3rd time this drive. Jack Kearney, 9th tackle today. He's a freshman in-game recruit from last season, made by Coach Dave. Floats this one to the corner. It's intercepted! Baylor's going the other way! The linebacker just wins the game for Baylor. It's Nate Wise. Shades of the national championship game where Herky Streets threw it right at Dexter Glasscock. And it's victory formation for Coach Flame and the Baylor Bears. They're going to win this game outright at home. Home underdogs, they felt slighted. And Baylor beats Michigan and A&M back-to-back. Coach Flame is so back, baby. Coach Flame, baby. I love having Coach Flame. It is time he wins the national championship. Let's do it this year. Come on, Baylor. Let's go. Victory formation. One more snap to a legendary 2-0 start. And if you know Flame from olden times, he never started out well. He always seemed to lose to like SMU or someone dumb at the beginning of the season. But not this year. 2-0 against top 15 opponents. And Baylor does it. 42-35. They win outright. They get the win at home, and Baylor will be shooting up again in the rankings. Coach Flame is back, and his linebacker wins it for him. Herky Streets throws another critical pick in clutch time. Unbelievable slate of games, folks, and we'll be back in like 10 minutes for another Clash of the Titans as we got number 13 Coastal Carolina led by Grant Davis, the LSU transfer, taking on Coach Zach and the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Yeah, this is a brutal week for BearCave, folks. Brutal week for sure. We'll probably see those scores tonight. Not ideal. Is a full recap is West Virginia covered, Western Kentucky won outright, Auburn no covered, Notre Dame won outright, Colorado no covered, Wyoming covered, USC won outright, Fresno State won outright, Buffalo covered, and Baylor won outright. That's 4, 5 wins outright. So 5 true underdogs winning. We also had 1, 2, and we had 2 no covers and only 3 covers this week. Unbelievable. So let's pay out those bets. Those of you guys who put money on Baylor, and 57% of the bets were on Baylor. So let's take a look at the stats here. See what happened is it was all Baylor at the start. Then A&M crawled back. They got a defensive score. Dan Day got in the end zone. Sheethers got a nice run. Dan Day again. Herky Streets, 24 of 50, under 50% today. He had 4 touchdowns and an interception. Osborne, inability to run the ball for A&M might be their issue this season. Dan Day, though, he is a great wide receiver one, it seems, taking over for Percy Knox. And on defense, Corey Patterson coming back this season. Great day. And holy Toledo, Brandon Harvey. 16 touchdowns, 7 TFLs, and 2 picks. 7 TFLs is unbelievable. 2 sacks, I mean. No interceptions and no deflections. So we got to check out, though, the number 1 recruit. How did he play? Huck Hammer. He had 2 tackles in his debut and nothing else. No extracurriculars. So a bit unfortunate, unfortunately, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles. A.J. Clark also getting involved. This is one of my favorite defenses in the country. I can't believe they gave up 42 points. So, as always, folks, let's take a look at our players of the game, and then we'll take a look at Week 3 slate. Dogwater already making nicknames for another bust. It's his first live game. Relax. He made a play in the one play we watched, so let him cook. Let him cook. Take some time. Remember, freshmen don't always break out. It's very rare to have like a freshman have a super uber elite season. So 10 BearCave games in the books. And let's make sure we have one last game. Yes, we do. So what does Week 3 have in store for the SFA? Well, we got Missouri, Western Kentucky, rematch from last season, that great BearCave game. UTSA at Tulsa, that'll be fun. West Virginia at Nebraska could get interesting. Vanderbilt at Oklahoma. Florida State, Maryland. Florida State, man, tough draw this season, it seems. Northwestern, UNLV, Oregon, Tennessee, Wake, LA Tech, Utah Coastal, Texas, and Baylor. Ooh, baby, we've got some good ones coming at you next week. It seems like every week is a elite slate. And how about Iowa State scoring 63 points this week against Rutgers? As you take a look, Miami, Hawaii. Miami might be pretty good. Hawaii we know they're pretty good. That could be an interesting game. Some very interesting matchups coming at you. Charlotte, Akron, Alabama, Arizona State. Ohio, Duke could get interesting. Ohio is one of my favorite group of 5 teams this season. LSU and USC. LSU, great overtime win this week, bouncing back. BYU taking a loss this week as a ranked team. Texas Tech and Kansas. Army, Cincinnati this early on in the year could get interesting. Ohio State, Cal, 2 top 5 SFA programs in history and win percentage. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, we'll be back for game day in about 5 to 10 minutes. I'm just going to go to the bathroom, take a break for a second, and then we'll be right back for Coastal Carolina taking on Nebraska. Thank you guys so much for watching. Any and all of the subs, the follows, any of that stuff. Yeah. So we'll see you back here in about 5 to 10 minutes. Peace.